Are you looking for the best business laptops? In this video we will look at some of the 6 best laptops on the market. Before we get started with our video, we have included links in the description, so make sure you check those out to see which one is in your budget range. Starting at number 1. HP Spectre X36014. The best work laptop we've tested is the HP Spectre X36014, 2024. This premium 2-in-1 laptop features a sturdy all-aluminum chassis with a thin and light design, which makes it a great choice for those who travel a lot. Using Intel's new Meteor Lake processors, light productivity tasks like text processing, web browsing, spreadsheets, and presentations are a breeze, and its NPU, Neural Processing Unit, accelerates AI features like Windows Copilot. Its battery life is excellent, so you don't need to worry about charging it throughout the workday. You can charge the laptop over USB-C, giving you the freedom to use a wide range of compatible chargers. The overall user experience is great. You get a sharp 2.8K OLED display with touch and pen input, an excellent haptic touchpad, and a 4K webcam. A fingerprint sensor and facial recognition camera are also included for quick logins. Its port selection is decent, too, including one USB-A and two USB-C/Thunderbolt 4s, so you can transfer files quickly and connect multiple peripherals and external displays. There's also support for Wi-Fi 7. Unfortunately, the RAM isn't user replaceable, so make sure you get enough for your needs upfront. Lastly, remember that OLEDs are susceptible to permanent burn-in, and their flickering can be bothersome to some. At number 2. Acer Swift Go 14. Our mid-range pick is the Acer Swift Go 14, 2024. This thin and light 14-inch model offers many features that are normally found on higher-end devices. One standout feature at this price point is the display options. You can choose between an FHD plus IPS or a 2.8K OLED panel for the display. The OLED display is sharper and better suited for color-critical work, which is great for small businesses that need to do some light photo editing. Just remember that OLEDs are susceptible to permanent burn-in and will drain the battery faster. As for performance, it features Intel Meteor Lake CPUs, which are powerful enough to handle fairly demanding tasks. You can get up to 32 GB of RAM and 2 TB of storage, though only the latter is user replaceable. This laptop feels very well built despite having a little more plastic in its construction than premium models like the HP Spectre X36014, 2024, above. It has a spacious, albeit slightly mushy keyboard, a large and responsive touchpad, a 1080p webcam with facial recognition support, and a wide port selection that includes 2 Thunderbolt 4s and an HDMI. Its battery life is excellent at around 11 hours of light use. You can charge the laptop via USB-C. At number 3. ASUS Vivobook 16M1605. The best laptop for business we've tested for when you're shopping on a budget is the ASUS Vivobook 16M1605, 2023. This ultra-portable feels well built for the price and isn't overly bulky for a 16-inch device, so it's still easy to carry around. You can get this laptop with an AMD Ryzen 5 or Ryzen 7 CPU, which are more than adequate to handle general productivity tasks. As for the RAM, it has 8 GB soldered onto the motherboard in a SODIMM slot, so if you can't find a model with 16 GB, you can always get an 8 GB model and upgrade it yourself. Its battery life is okay at around 8 hours of light use, which means you may need a quick charge to get through a typical workday, depending on your usage. This model delivers a pretty good user experience overall. It has a spacious full-size keyboard with a numpad, which is handy for those working with lots of numbers, as well as a large and responsive touchpad. You get Wi-Fi 6E wireless connectivity, a fingerprint sensor for quick logins, and a decent port selection with 3 USB-As, a USB-C, and an HDMI. Unfortunately, the USB-C doesn't support video output, so you'll have to use the HDMI port to connect an external display. The main drawback of this laptop is the display. Its 1080p resolution looks reasonably sharp at this screen size. However, it's quite dim at around 250 candelas per square meter of brightness, so visibility may be an issue in well-lit rooms. It also looks washed out due to its narrow color gamut. At number 4. Apple MacBook Air 15. Although Windows is the most used operating system in the corporate business world, some of you may prefer or have the option to use a MacBook, especially in this remote work era. If so, we recommend the Apple MacBook Air 15, 2024, one of the best laptops for business and personal use we've tested. This laptop is an incredibly well-built ultra-portable that comes with Apple's M3 silicon. Its performance is excellent for most productivity tasks, including some light photo or video editing. Its 15-inch display gives you plenty of room for split-screen multitasking, and it gets bright enough to combat glare, even outdoors in broad daylight. It also features best-in-class battery life, so you can comfortably get through a full workday on a single charge. The user experience is great. The keyboard feels spacious and tactile, and the touchpad is large and responsive. You get an excellent 1080p webcam, so your colleagues can see and hear you clearly on video calls. Port selection is the major pain point here, as you only get two USB-C/Thunderbolt 3 ports. While you can use these to connect to two external monitors, this only works if the lid is closed. If you plan to use an external monitor with the laptop closed or prefer a more compact device for on-the-go use, you can get the Apple MacBook Air 13, 2024. It's cheaper, but the speakers don't sound as good. Unlike the 15-inch model, Apple still sells the Apple MacBook Air 13, 2022, with the M2 SoC as a budget-friendly option, coming in at $100 cheaper than the 2024 model. At number 5. Apple MacBook Pro 14. For people needing to do a bit of everything, including graphic design, photo editing, and maybe even making short videos for their website, we recommend the M4 Apple MacBook Pro 14, 2024, one of the best laptops for small business use that we've tested. This 14-inch workstation is available with Apple's M4 Base, Pro, and Max SoCs. The Pro and Max SoCs can handle nearly anything, including demanding tasks like video editing and complex graphic design. Its 120Hz mini LED display provides good visibility in well-lit settings and is well calibrated out of the box. The display gets brighter in SDR than the previous generation and is available with a new nanotexture finish to combat glare. As for the user experience, you get many of the same niceties as the Apple MacBook Air 15, 2024, above, like the keyboard and touchpad, along with some new features including a 12MP webcam with Apple's Center Stage feature and a wider port selection with Thunderbolt 5 support, M4 Pro and Max models, for peripherals and external displays. On the Windows side, we recommend the Lenovo ThinkPad P1 Gen 7, 2024. This is also a premium workstation laptop that can handle intensive workloads. It features a 16-inch display for multitasking, Lenovo's beloved keyboard and trackpoint, a huge haptic touchpad, and an excellent 1440p webcam. While its Intel Meteor Lake processors can't quite keep up with a maxed-out MacBook Pro and CPU workloads, you can get more raw GPU performance if you go with one of the higher-end GPUs, like the NVIDIA RTX 80 Generation 3000 or RTX 4070. As for the RAM, you can only get up to 64GB whereas the MacBook Pro is configurable with up to 128GB, but the RAM is user replaceable, as is the storage, allowing you to add up to 96GB of RAM and 8TB of storage. Unfortunately, it gets hotter and louder under load, and none of the available displays get as bright as the MacBook Pro's mini LED panel. Still, if you need a reliable device that can wear many different hats, this is a great option. At number 6. Microsoft Surface Pro 11th Edition. If you want a versatile work device that you can also use as a tablet for media consumption, get the Microsoft Surface Pro 11th Edition, 2024, one of the best laptops for business and personal use we've tested. Unlike our top pick above, the HP Spectre X36014, 2024, this is a tablet PC with a detachable keyboard. Removing the keyboard makes the device easier to hold as a tablet and takes up less space on a table. The downside is that it's a bit more unstable when using it as a laptop on your lap. Like previous Surface Pro type cover keyboards, the new Flex keyboard feels spacious and comfortable, and it now works even when disconnected from the device, giving you more flexibility to position the tablet to your liking. It also has a new haptic touchpad that's larger and easier to use. Unfortunately, the keyboard is still a separate purchase. The same goes for the stylus. An important consideration for business use is this tablet uses an ARM processor. The Snapdragon chips are more than adequate to handle general productivity tasks, and they're quite power efficient, giving you an all-day battery life. That said, you need to ensure that the apps you use are compatible or run well enough through Microsoft's Prism emulation layer to get your work done. There are two display options. Models using the Snapdragon X Plus have an IPS panel, while the X Elite models come with an OLED panel. The OLED display will give you deeper blacks, but it exhibits the screen door effect, meaning the digitizer is visible, creating a grid-like pattern that some may find distracting. Also, OLEDs are susceptible to permanent burn-in. Other than that, this is a great device overall. You get an excellent 1440p webcam, an IR facial recognition camera, Wi-Fi 7, and clear-sounding front-facing speakers.